Yes.
WCCF tech sources confirm
What? There's CPU news?
3 new
No.
Ryzen Matisse refresh CPUs dubbed XT models. So Ash River posted this on the forum, and they claim that sources have confirmed AMD is prepping 3 new Ryzen 3000 desktop chips as part of a Matisse refresh. And I gotta say, on paper, this looks credible simply because it just like kind of makes sense. All these
Yeah.
SKUs
Yeah.
make sense. The 3950X, I can see why they wouldn't refresh that. That's a relatively low volume part, and it's already like 16 cores. It's kind of like binned balls to the wall, right? Whereas the 3900X, yeah, maybe there was a little bit of room to play in there. 3800X, maybe a little bit of room to play. 3600X, same thing. So these are excuse me, 6, 8, and 12 core models that look like they should be getting small bumps to both their, no, not both, anything, small bumps to their clock speeds.
Well,
So,
base and boost.
and what's
Those
cool
are
about
both.
this is that if the pricing comes in at just a little bit higher than the existing 3600X, 3800X, or 3900X, or if it comes in the same, actually, that's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting they're going to come in exactly the same. My love, I can't help you with your Lego thing right now. I'm sorry. You'll have to go ask mommy. It makes a ton of sense because if these come in at the same pricing, all of a sudden these X SKUs that AMD has kind of struggled to demonstrate the value of because they allow overclocking on the vanilla ones as well as the X ones, all of a sudden their performance will be significantly enough different at stock speeds that if the X's just went away, the vanillas could stay, the XTs could stay, and there'd be this substantial performance difference between them that hasn't really existed up until now. And it would also mean that on all the benchmark charts, when people go and review these CPUs, compared to Intel's 10th gen, AMD would look much more favorable for the next few months while they're preparing the 4th generation Ryzen processors. Okay, sweetheart, you can't be hanging around on the back of the camera. Off you go. All right, so they're rumored to say, so in terms of the speed increases, we're not talking about anything extreme. So the 3600X is 3.8 gigahertz base, 4.4 boost. We're looking at 4 gigahertz base, 4.7 boost.
That's pretty decent.
It's nothing to sneeze at either. That's 5% at base. And a little
Yeah,
bit, about 7.5, whatever that works out to, boost.
that's quite the chunk. Like
And,
your boost clock is going to on the 3600 XT is going to higher than the 3900X.
yes,
It's an
exactly.
interesting way to look at it. That's pretty sick.
And so we're looking at kind of similar boosts. So around anywhere from 200 to 300 megahertz boost across the board here on the base clocks, and anywhere from, 200 to 300 megahertz on boost clocks as well. And what's really cool about the position that AMD's in right now, and like what a privileged position it is. They've worked hard for it, to be clear. I don't mean that kind of privilege. I mean the bask in it, guys, is that they don't have to shoot first and then hope their competitor doesn't have an answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
AMD was able to sit with their existing lineup with the vanillas and X's and wait for Intel to make a move. Intel made a move. They launched 10th gen with solid performance, some surprises in terms of performance. I was expecting them to run hotter than they did, but they actually shaved the die. I don't know if you watched our review of it, Luke. They actually shaved the die down to get better thermal transfer between the die and the integrated heat spreader. Anyway, Intel managed to launch with better performance and better thermals than I was expecting, but the power consumption is huge. So what that means is that assuming that AMD has done any refinement on their 7nm process over the last 6 months or however long it's been since Ryzen 3rd Gen launched, they're in a position to, make a tweak if they need to. But they didn't need to move first. So now they know what they're up against. So they can go, okay, knowing what we're up against, if we need to increase the power envelope of these chips a little bit, we can do that. If we don't need to do that, well, then we'll go a little bit less aggressive. So they can sit, tune this stuff, release it. They can dictate the pricing, really, because Intel's pricing is already out there. I think this seems pretty likely. If this rumor had come out and said that there was going to be like a top to bottom refresh, I'd have said, no, that makes absolutely no sense. I don't see it happening. But this looks very credible.
Yeah, absolutely. And exciting. I like these clapbacks. It feels kind of, I don't know. I like them right now because, like you said, the bask in your glory kind of
Yep.
situation where like they're finally in the lead, so I'm happy that they're doing this. I also don't like them when this happens from the team that's been in the lead for an extremely long time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but right now I'm happy this is happening.
So
This is very cool.
you're just an underdog kind of guy, are you, Luke? Are you an
With,
underdog
well,
guy?
with those types of moves, yes, because when it happens from a company that has been in the lead for a super long time,
Yeah.
they're just kind of suppressing competition at that point. Where when it happens from a team that's been in the lead for a relatively short amount of time, they are kind of finally reaping the rewards for their gains. You know what I mean?
Right.
It feels different.
I see what you mean. So you mean kind of like the relaxing and waiting for the other guy to make a move.
That I don't like.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, okay, in fairness to AMD, it's not like they've relaxed for a long time here.
No,
We're talking
and
a span of
like
months, not years.
yeah,
Right.
and that's why that's a big part of why this feels kind of fine.
Right.